Hello, my name's Jade and today we will be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. The first question is the best book you've read this year so far. Best book I've read so far this year is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I gave this a 10 out of 10. I loved it. I still think about it all the time. I listened to the audiobook and the audiobook for this one. So good. It's about a rock band in the 60s and 70s, all of their relationships, and I just think about it all the time. I read it in February, I think. He wrote The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I also read this year. I really liked that one as well. This is my fave though. I did also give Normal People by Sally Rooney a 10 out of 10 though, I think, so this is an honourable mention. Question number 2 is the best sequel you've read so far this year. See, I think I know what the answer is, but I don't think it counts. The first one that comes to mind is The 100 Nights of Heyo by Isabel Greenberg. This is a graphic novel. I read it at the very beginning of the year and I adored it. I think it's one of my favourite graphic novels I've ever read. And it's technically a sequel companion to The Encyclopedia of Early Earth, but I read this first. Maybe this one? Oh, no, I know what it is. One of these are the last two novels in the first Skullduggery Pleasant series. These finished back in 2014, but I never read these two. I got up to 7 and then I stopped because I got distracted and busy. I've reread the series this year and I finally read these two now and I loved both of them. In fact, I think they're my favourites of the series. They're so good. So I don't know if I have a favourite between these two. I literally just finished this one last night, so I don't know which one I prefer. The next question is a new release you haven't read but you want to, and this goes to Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's about, what is this about? About siblings and they have this big party. I think it's like an annual party they have in Malibu. Ends with the house going up in flames. Very intrigued. I think it takes place over 24 hours. She's very good at like celebrity culture and stuff. Obviously both Daisy Jones and the Six and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo look at that, and it gives me We Were Liars vibes. If you've read We Were Liars, you might see a couple of parallels there. I'm planning on reading it really soon. I've bought the book and I've bought the audiobook, so hopefully this month I will read it. The next question is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Now, this was going to be the last book in the Mara Dyer Noah Schul series. I marathoned first 3 Mara Dyer books in like March of last year and I adored them, and then I read 2 Noah Schul books that are out in the summer. Really enjoyed those as well, and ever since I finished, I can't stop thinking about it. I didn't even realise how much I enjoyed it at the time. I knew I enjoyed it, I knew it was fun, but I didn't realise how much of an impact it would leave on me. And so I've been so excited for the next one. I think it's The Last Confessions of Mara Dyer and Noah Schul, because it's the last book and it got pushed back originally to August of last year. That was fun because I hadn't read them yet, and then it got pushed to August of this year, so by that point I still had to wait over a year for the release date, and then it's been pushed back again to February of next year. So I'm very upset. I need it now. But what is still coming out this year, I believe, is the next Sally Rooney book, Beautiful World, Where Are You? I believe it's called. I pre-ordered it. I'm getting the Waterstones special edition and I'm very excited about it. As I already said, I read Normal People earlier this year, loved it. I've already read Conversations with Friends a few years ago now and I really enjoyed that one as well. Read her short stories this year. I really enjoy Sally Rooney's work. I think she's really different and unique in her writing. Ooh, the biggest disappointment of the year so far is This Is Not the Just Show by Anna Carey. I thought the concept could be really cool. I can't even remember my explanation for why I didn't like it. I'll link the video where I discuss it in the description if you're curious. I just remember being disappointed. Honestly, I forgot that I read this. I'm glad I did because it was interesting and different and it wasn't something I would normally pick up. I read it because Booksplosion was reading and I had heard things about it before. But yeah, I was disappointed by it. The next question is the biggest surprise. I think the biggest surprise is this one, Paper Hearts by Meg Wiviet. This is written in poetry, which for a start, I don't normally read poetry, and it's written about Auschwitz. I had to read it as part of my MA, it was on the reading list, and it just really moved me, and I just found it really beautiful and really stunning. I gave it like a 9 out of 10. Such a devastating topic, and it's one of those things that you can only ever imagine what it's like, and I think she does a pretty good job of kind of trying to imagine what it was like. The next question is favourite new author, which can either be a debut or a new to you author. I'm going with a new to you author, and that is Taylor Jenkins Reid. How can it not be? I read 2 of her books this year and I really enjoyed both of them. I also listened to Evidence of the Affair and I really enjoyed that. And I'm really looking forward to reading Malibu Rising. The next question is newest fictional crush. I don't think I have any. There's Nikolai from the Grisha verse. He's pretty cool, but he's not new. I knew him last year and I had a crush on him last year. I'm gonna have to cheat and say someone that I already knew because there were no new ones. They don't exist yet. But I'm gonna say Fletcher Wren from the Skullduggery Pleasant series. We are introduced to him in book 3, The Faceless Ones, and I knew of him before, obviously. In fact, he was my first fictional crush. I discovered that I still do, in fact, have a crush on Fletcher Wren. I still really love him. The next question is my newest favourite character. I don't think I did this one last time. The one that came to me first is Bryce from Crescent City. I loved her. I loved a lot of the characters in this book. I really loved Half Brother and I really loved Hunt as well. The next question is a book that made you cry. Which one? Because I've read at least 10-11 books this year that made me cry. I went through and counted them. I mean, I'm pretty sure I cried reading both Daisy Jones and the Six and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I cried reading Normal People. I cried reading Crescent City, I'm pretty sure. I cried reading Rule of Wolves. I cried reading both Last Stand of Dead Men and The Dying of the Light. My answer for this one, though, is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. If you've read it, you know. Truly traumatizing. Oh, Daisy Jones and Six. That's another one where I couldn't stop. The next question is a book that made you happy. I mean, again, there's quite a lot. The whole of the Skullduggery Pleasant series made me happy. But I can't not say this answer because it truly made me the happiest. That's the Heartstopper series. I've read all 4 volumes that are out currently. And every single one of them just sat there with the goofiest, biggest smile on my face. I'd say the first 2 more than the second 2, particularly the 4th one. They deal with some topics that are a little bit heavier, so they still give you all the happy fuzzies and still had the big smile plastered to my face, but the first one and the second one in particular are just... The next question is the most beautiful book you've bought or received this year. I really like the cover for The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper. I think this is a really pretty cover. Runaway Train by Lee Matthew Goldberg. Oh, Rule of Wolves is pretty stunning, actually. It's got so much detail and I love the kind of pearlescent paper. Naked is gorgeous and it has really nice end papers as well. So my camera just turned off and I have literally no idea why. I guess that's its way of signaling to me that it's time to wrap this up. So the last question are what books do you want to finish by the end of the year? One of my answers is something that I said last year and I didn't actually end up reading last year, and that's The Strange the Dreamer duology by Laini Taylor. I'm very ashamed that I still haven't read this, being that the Daughter Smoke and Bone trilogy is one of my favourite series. More so than this one, I really want to read the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J Maas. I haven't read any of these books yet. I want to read all of them by the end of the year. Last year, one of the answers I gave was the Throne of Glass series, and I actually ended up reading the whole thing. I thought, yeah, no, just read a couple books, and I ploughed through the whole thing. So I really just want to be up to date on her work. Read Crescent City earlier this year, so all that's left is the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And that is all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have answers to any of these questions, please let me know down below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome morning, afternoon, evening / night. My name's Jade. I hope I see you again next time. Goodbye!